Welcome back to Adrian's Avenue, and this is a channel where we have topics on to help you make better decisions for a better life. And I'm super excited about today because of college football. I love football. I watch football, college and pro, but today's topic is something that I needed to learn a little bit more about. It's something that not a whole lot of people are talking about, but there is a wealth transfer going on in the college level for these college athletes, NIL. We're going to talk about that. If you did not know, there are college athletes these days making bank because they're athlete, some of them top of their line, and they're making money off of something called NIL. That's name, image, and likeness. Back in 2021, they released it where college athletes could actually make money off of their brand. And this is something that's controversial. Some people don't like it. Some people like it. But these young athletes are going out and they're making millions of dollars off of their name, image, and likeness. These brands are picking them up at the college level, not wait until they become professionals, but at the college level, and they're making money. And so this is something that we're going to talk about. I learned about it, and then I learned about how much money they were making, and I'm like, wow, this is a big deal. Now, I'm sure you're asking, how exactly do they get paid at the collegiate level? Because, of course, some of them, when they come to school, and if they're very good in their sport, they're getting scholarships. So they're getting their education paid for. This is on top of this. This has nothing to do with the scholarships that they got to actually attend school. This is something outside of that. And a few ways that they're getting paid: endorsements. They can promote brands such as apparel, fitness products, or food companies. They get paid off of social media. Athletes with large social media followings can be paid for sponsorships, can be paid, through TikTok, YouTube, and then there's merchandise that they can have, that they can sell their own brand of merchandise, t-shirts, jerseys, make money from sale. And you've probably seen some of these because some of them, they're so high profile in the news until someone will say something about them. Next thing you know, they have a t-shirt that they've made with this saying on about them, and they're selling this t-shirt, making money off of just a comment that someone made. It could be a good comment, could be a bad comment, doesn't matter. They can capitalize on it and start selling products based on that one comment that someone has made about them. These are top athletes. And I'm going to go through the top 10 so you'll know exactly who they are, exactly what they made, and exactly who's sponsoring them, what kind of sponsorships do they have with their branding as athletes in college, you guys. Now, let me just run down the list of other ways that they can actually make money with this NIL deal. There are athletes that run their own businesses now. They're creating their own business, such as selling products. Like we said, it could be nutritional supplements. It could be personal training, motivational speaking. They are actually their own brand. Then there's social media influencers. They could have a YouTube channel. They could have TikTok. And because of the engagement, actually have earning potential. Appearances and autograph sessions. When they go out and speak or have autograph signings, they can get paid for this now. They can be invited to events, charity functions, or brand deals. Also, content creation and monetization. On YouTube, if you create our content at a certain level, you can actually start getting paid for that. Group licensing. There are companies out there that will give them a portion of their profits to use their name and likeness. So you may have seen some of this on commercials, that you've seen some of these guys on commercials. Trading cards, official team merchandise, partnership agreements with their agents. They're having agents now at the collegiate level, having agents negotiating deals and managing their products. The school has specific rules that they have to go by, of course. And then there's this thing called collectives, NIL collectives, which are groups of donors and alumni who pool resources to provide athletes with NIL opportunities. And so this is another way that if a team is very popular and they have a lot of alumni that want to just put money in there so that they can have winning seasons and draw the best athletes to their schools, they can do this. So these are ways that these athletes are going out there and actually making money off of these deals. Personally, I don't have anything against it because you don't know how long their career is going to be. Some of them can get hurt in college at some of these games. But like I promised you, next up, we're going to go through that group of 10 top athletes and what they're getting paid. So we're clear, this is the kind of money we're talking about. Last October, there were only 10 NCAA athletes making over $1 million on these NIL deals. Today, that number has risen to, there's 34, if not more at this taping, making over $1 million on NIL deals. That's the kind of money we're talking about. I promise you I'm going to tell you the names, but of the top 10 athletes, 9 of them are football players. Of the 9 football players, all but 1 are quarterbacks. And then there's 1 female, of course, who is not a football player. Okay, let's get to those names. There are 3 that's tied for making $1.9 million. And these are the names. First up is Nico Iamaleava. Hopefully I pronounced his last name correctly. He is a redshirt freshman quarterback for the University of Tennessee, and he's listed at $1.9 million. He has deals with Wellforce brand, Force Factor, top tier athletes, Apple, Beats by Dre, and the university owned NIL platform, Volunteers Club. He has 353,000 followers on social media. Tied with Nico is Carson Beck. Carson is a quarterback at Georgia. He is also has deals with Beats by Dre, Chipotle, Electronic Arts. He has 132 followers across his social media. Next up, still making 1.9 is Cam Ward, a senior quarterback that's led the University of Miami to a 4-0 start. And he has deals with Miami-centric NIL Collective, Kane's Connection, EA Sports, Panina America, C4 Energy. Social media following at 67 total followers on social media. The next person up is Jax Dart. He is a senior quarterback for University of Mississippi, and he is listed at $2.1 million. His deals are with the school's NIL program called the Grove Collection, EA Sports, Dick's Sports, Sporting Goods, and he has 181 followers on social media. Then we have Jalen Monroe. He is a quarterback for University of Alabama. He has 272 followers on social media, and he has deals with Celsia, 6-Star Pro Nutrition, and Beats by Dre. Quinn Ewers, which is here in Texas, he's tied with Jalen at $2.2 million. He is the quarterback of the University of Texas here in the city of Austin. He has deals with Dr. Pepper, Athletic Brewing, Private Jet Company, Nicholas Air, and EA Sports. And he has 293,000 followers on social media. But he is not the top NIL earner on his team, because next up we have Arch Manning, one of the Manning kids. So he has uncles that played in the in NFL. He earns $3.1 million with NIL. And he is the nephew of Super Bowl champion quarterback Peyton and Eli Manning, the grandson of Arch Manning. And his followers on social media is 345,000 followers on social media. So the Longhorns, Texas Longhorns, have actually 2 that's top ranked in getting these deals. Tied with Arch Manning is Travis Hunter of Colorado. And Travis, I watch Travis all the time. Love Travis to see him play. He is very exciting. If you haven't watched him, go ahead and turn on Colorado football. But he is a 5-star junior prospect. He plays on both offense and defense as a wide receiver and a defensive back. So his NIL deals are with United Airlines, Cheez-It, 7-Eleven, American Eagle Outfitters, and over 3 million followers on social media. Of course, Deion Sanders is his coach at Colorado. Next up, we have Levy Dunn. He makes $4 million. Levy is the only woman among the top 10 NIL earners this year, and she's a senior at Louisiana State University on the gymnastic team. So she has a following. She's got the most followers. So her following is 13.6 million followers. Okay, so this is great for her. Congrats to the only lady in this group. And number one, drum roll, you probably have already guessed it. This is no surprise. Shedeur Sanders, which is Deion's son. He's a quarterback at Colorado. He makes $5.1 million. He tops this group with that amount of money. So he has deals with Nike, Beats by Dre, Google, Tops, Urban Outfitters, Mercedes-Benz, and of course we know he's gotten cars and all that. He's got 2.3 million followers on social media. And for Travis and also for Shedeur, they are geared to be number one top picks when the NFL draft comes along. So there you have it, with the top 10 athletes and the millions of dollars that these people are making, these young men and young women are making with this NIL deal. This is great because this is, you all, a part of that wealth transfer. Some of these young people have never seen this much money in their lives, and they're getting paid it while they're in college. They're doing things for their families and doing stuff like that, but they need some guidance if they haven't been exposed to this type of money. They need some guidance while they're in college. And so we're going to talk about that, some things that they need to consider while getting this money in their hands. We're going to talk about that next. Congratulations to all of those. And if you hit that like button and the subscribe button, I will continue bringing you this great information about just finances in general so that we can make better decisions for a better life. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this one out because people may not know about this NIL. It is a big deal for these athletes, and I'm really happy that it's happening to them. I really am. So congrats to them. And just in case your favorite college player was not called, it does not mean that they're not getting paid. All it means that they didn't hit the $1 million limit that I was going off of this time. That's what this list was about. Anybody who made over $1 million. Now they could be making $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, which is not bad, especially when you're in college. I remember when I was in college, I was broke. Now, this is what I really wanted to talk about with these athletes. They need some assistance with this money. So what's the first thing that they need to do? They need to have a budget and track their spending. It would be so easy for this kind of money to fall into some hands that has never had this kind of money before, and they just go crazy buying things that they've dreamed of, looking at other athletes, see what they have, going out buying that, and they may not be able to manage and afford it. So the best thing that they can do is get with someone that will help them with a budget or a tracking system so that they can manage their money and keep this money, make it last as long as they possibly can. Because when it starts, you don't know how long it will last. They could get an injury, become unpopular, and that type of thing. So let's make sure that if you're a mother or father of one of these athletes, get them some help with the finances so that they can make good decisions. Next thing that they need to do is understand taxes, because if you make money, you're going to have to pay taxes. So make sure that when they're making this money, that they're pulling out a certain percentage, and they can get with their accountant on this. I can see these, especially if they're making over a certain amount, having a team of financial professionals as well as tax people and lawyers to help them, because they're a business now. Their brand has become a business people are willing to pay them for. So this should not be taken lightly, and probably not into their own hands. They need assistance with them. So there will be taxes on this money. Next up is saving and investing wisely. You don't know when this money is going to run out. You don't know when it's going to stop. You don't know when the deal is going to be cut off, cut down. You don't know what's going to happen. So if you get it, make sure you're saving and investing wisely. And this is another way that your financial professional can actually help you do that. This one, the athletes probably will not like me when I say, but making these large unnecessary purchases, going out, buying all these chains, buying all these cars, buying stuff like that. Now, if you had that type of money before and you were buying that stuff and you were fine because you had it in the family, that's fine. But if it's new to you, and if you get 250, 300,000 and you go out and buy a $250, $275,000 chain, that's probably not the wisest thing to do. As a matter of fact, that is not a wise thing to do. Make sure you put some back and save it. You can go buy you a chain that's modest if that's what you want to do, or a car that's modest if that's what you want to do. But make sure you're investing and saving more, because more than likely, if you're on this list or if you're getting these deals, your school is paid for. So you're not paying for schooling or anything like that. But let's do the right thing with the money. So running out, buying big chains and cars and stuff like that is not the right thing to do if you've never had money like that, and you just need to manage it very wisely. Build credit responsibly. So some of these athletes are getting credit cards, and because as the deals come in, the paychecks are coming in, the promise paychecks are coming in, they may go out and start purchasing things on credit cards. Make sure you pay those credit cards off every month. You have the income to do it. Don't overcharge. Get yourself into something and then you can't pay it off. So if you're using credit cards, I don't have a problem with that, but make sure you're paying them off each and every month. A lot of students, whether you're an athlete or not, get into trouble because these credit card companies are after you in college. You go charge, and all of a sudden when you get out, you not only have a school bill, but you have a credit card problem. And then it starts, when you don't pay, then it starts eating at your credit score and your credit history. So make sure we're getting and keeping a good credit score for anything in the future we may want to do. We may want to put money into businesses. You have to have a good credit to do that. They're not just going to go off of what you got in college or what you did back then or what money that you had coming in back then. They want to know that you took care of the money back then and you can take care of the money that they're about to lend you. So make sure your credit score stays in line and you use those credit cards like if you get the credit cards. Now, if you don't know how to handle credit cards, don't get into credit cards. Leave them for someone else. But if you can use them, pay them off responsibly, you can build credit to your advantage for future use. Warning, warning, beware of scams and bad contracts. Whether you're an athlete, a musician, or whatever, you do not want to get involved with scams. People, once they find out you're making this kind of money, and it's publicized everywhere, once they find out you're making this kind of money, people are going to start coming after you. They're going to start sending you emails, calling you, rubbing up against you, saying, hey, I got this great deal. Do you want to invest? That type of thing. Be very, very careful. Be extremely careful with this, because some of them are out there, most of them are out there just to take advantage of you. They know you have money. They know you're young, probably don't know exactly what to do with money. You can see something bright and shiny and all of a sudden you're going for it. You're a little gullible, a little vulnerable if you don't have people around you to protect you and guide you. So, and vet your accountants, vet your lawyers very well, because we don't want, your team to be in a position that may take advantage of you also. So do all of this, but you're handling adult money now, so you have to make adult decisions and get an adult team around you to assist you with that. And last but not least, I will tell you to protect your brand at all costs. You want your brand to be good. There are some companies that will not pick certain athletes up or actors or musicians because their reputation is tarnished. So you want your brand to remain. If you want it to be a clean brand, and you don't want to do any commercials for, let's say, people that sell alcohol, keep your brand clean. Whatever it is you want to do, it's your brand. And so make sure it lines up with your values, what you believe in, what you stand behind, and that's your brand. because there will always be someone out there willing to take a chance on you if your brand is good and clean and, you know, reflective of your authentic self and what you want to stand for. So this is your opportunity. You have a platform. And with that platform, you all, comes a responsibility. There were some athletes back in the day that says, I'm not responsible for this and I'm not responsible for that. But yes, you do. It comes with a responsibility, whether you want to accept it or not. People are looking at you, little kids are watching you, and they may do some things based on what you say or do. And so since you're out there, you've been blessed with that platform, be responsible and do the right thing. Okay. So all of this, and if you're out there, if you run across my channel, please subscribe. If you need to contact me, I'll be glad to sit down with you to get you on the right road to making great decisions with your money, and then let you go to someone else that can make better decisions with your money the more you get. But I did want to give a shout out to all these athletes and the many other athletes that are getting money. I think it's a great thing. Appreciate you, appreciate what you're doing, because you're not only playing a sport, but you're going to college and you're learning, getting an education. And I know when I was in college, it was hard enough just to get the homework done and go to school. But imagine all the time that you're taking off to prepare for these games that you're playing or the teams that you're playing on. So I do appreciate that. I do recognize that, appreciate that. Hats off to you, and blessings and all that you do in the future. And with that, I will see you in the next video.